So there's a big blue elephant in the room, and when you're thinking about budget and budget travelling, an FJ Land Cruiser probably isn't what you'd think of with budgeting. You'd either go a GQ, maybe even a GU older one, or a 80 series or 60 series cruiser. I had a Prado 120 and a 2007 model, and unfortunately the motor got a bit sad with a well-known injector problem, and instead of spending the 5-6 grand to fix it, I just traded in, and the FJ was in the dealership with a lot of fruit already on it, a lot of the bells and whistles that I need for off-road and adventuring. So got it at the time. I knew the 4-litre petrol motor was a bit thirsty. Old cousin has a Hilux with the petrol, and so I know she's not the best for budget travelling fuel-wise. But then you look at any diesel utes, by the time you put tyres, suspension, roof racks, and load up with all your gear, and maybe even put a trailer on the back, you're still going to be up, getting close to that 20 litres to 100 anyway. At the moment, I'm running about 16, 17, but that's because of the bigger tyres. But I'll talk about more of them in a minute. So the FJ Cruiser, one good thing about these is they've got electric locker stock in the back, so they pretty much go anywhere. I've got a mate, and you'll see in some of the videos, with a GQ Patrol, and yes, occasionally he does get further up the tracks than I do, but that's not because of the capability of the vehicle. It might be more of just because it's a Patrol and this is a cruiser, but we won't go into that whole argument. In the end, it doesn't really matter what vehicle you got to go off and enjoy the country. I'm going to show you on the series. It doesn't have to be a four-wheel drive like this. I'm going to do a trip in the Commodore wagon just so you can see just the family car can go off and do it, and I might even get out for a night in the hatchback as well, just to show different ways to go bush, go adventuring on a budget. But enough about that. We've got the FJ to talk about. One of the big differences going from the Prado back to the Cruiser, or down to the Cruiser for one, is just space. In the back, I'll show you soon, you've only got about 70 centimetres deep in the back, and it sort of curves, well, the roof goes down to the back and gives you a lot smaller back door opening as well. So a lot of your big drawer systems and that won't fit in there. You've got to get custom ones from Drifter, or as you'll see, I've made them myself. But the FJ itself, it's pretty much the two-door Prado driveline chassis, just got the FJ shell on it, really. And this being the 2011 model, which was the first of the FJs that come out over here in Australia, you're probably looking between 20 and 30,000 for one now. So they're not that expensive to purchase one. Solo traveling or traveling with a partner, they'd be quite fine. Just a couple of things to think about just to keep that fuel economy down is your tyres. Maybe look at all terrains instead of mud tyres, which again I'll show you in a minute. I've seen people put the rooftop tents up on the top, talking to people on Facebook and other things. That seems to work. There doesn't seem to be too much of an increase in fuel, even with that big box on the roof. They're already a box anyway on wheels. I normally cruise around about 95, I don't even do 100, just to limit wind drag and that sort of thing, but other people say at 120 or 130 they have better fuel economy, so that's something I'm going to look at. I do have a little Bluetooth plug coming to go into the computer so I can monitor me driving, monitor fuel usage and all that sort of stuff, so that should be a big help on the road, and just checking and seeing how I do stuff. But that's pretty much all the basic info on the FJ. As I said before, 4 litre petrol motor. I think they're about 200 kilowatt or horsepower, one of the two, whatever way that works out. They only made a automatic transmission. Sadly, no diesel, no manuals for the Australian market anyway. I've seen or heard of manuals in the States, but not 100% on that. Yeah, suicide door, good for getting access to the back, but not in car parks. That hangs out way over your sideline, so getting the kids out of the back can be challenging. That's why I and dogs, getting dogs out of the back as well. No, you're not going to hop up. You're not going to hop up. Oh, you're going to hop up. Yeah, so always park on the ends at the car parks just so you can open the doors out onto the gutters and that sort of thing. But that's the inside. And the FJ. Let's get outside and check out some of the off-road stuff. As I said, most of the stuff on the Cruiser was on it when I got it from the car yard, but I've been working at customising and getting it set up the way that I want it. Rightio, up front you'll notice straight away the big X-Rocks comp bar on the front. Looks as tough as nails. It is tough as nails. If I had me way, had me money again, because this was on it when I got it, I'd probably go for a TGM or ARB bar, one that's got a bit of side protection as well, because front of the FJ is all plastic, and if you hit a roo or even probably hit a bird, it'll probably smash a lot of the front end up. Bull bars aren't meant to stop birds, so if something's going to happen, it's going to happen. Light force lights on the front. I don't do a lot of night driving, maybe some early mornings on the way to work because I start at 5 o'clock in the morning. Even though I don't really take it to work anyway, she's not an everyday driver, but light force, big HIDs on the front, work fantastic. If one day in the future, if a rood smashes them off or something, then yeah, I'll probably go to light bars. I've got a couple of little ones here, little rock lights, or just more so for camping. I can flick a switch inside. I've got another two on the back, just illuminates the whole area around the vehicle, so you can walk around at night. If you park near a log or something, you don't trip over it, or if you're drunk, you don't fall arse over it when you're trying to walk around or get out of the swag in the morning for a pee. But they work great. Good long penetration at night time. Just recently got the King's Dominator X winch under the front of it. I think they're a 1,200 pound winch. Cruises about 2.5 tonne. Plus, if it's bogged in sand or mud, it's going to be a lot more weight. So at the moment, I'm more worried about the mounts for the winch. It'll probably rip the bull bar off the front of the Cruiser before it burns the winch out. So if it happens, you'll probably be seeing it, but we'll see what happens in the future with that. With the winch, from new, took the ends off, put a bit more grease in there, done some work on the seals, put some gasket glue on there and that, just to make it more dust and waterproof, even though I don't really go through a lot of water anyway. So that's nearly about it. UHF, that was on it when I got it. X-Rocks bash plate under there, and that's rubbing. I've got to get that adjusted because that's annoying when you're on corrugations. And just the standard bash plate underneath, I want to get that replaced soon. But that's the bull bar. We'll go and check out some tyres. Alright, up the front, these were put on by a dealership because the tyres on the Cruiser when I got it were pretty much gone. So of course dealerships gone for the cheapo versions that they could find. Erratus Road 4s, doing Blue Rag Hill and some of that rocky stuff up in the high country. It is more of a mud tyre, so a lot of the lugs here have been torn, and that is the softer rubber Chinese brand shit. But one little thing I do like about these being a Transformers fan is the Autobot and Decepticon insignia around the sidewalls there. There must have been someone in the design phase that's a Transformers fan as well. But apart from that, they're a cheap tyre. They're a discontinued tyre as well, which probably shows how good they are. So need to change them out in the future and to find something else to run on it. The FJ runs on a 17-inch rim, and they're about 33 inch, close to 34 inch in size. So that's the front. Again, these are done about 20,000 k's, 22,000 k's. So they have worn a bit. Again, the rock has done most of the damage to the tyres. So rightio, on the back, These are pretty much brand new. I went for a full mud tyre on the back. I don't know why, since we're going into summer, but it looks aggressive. Again, it's just a cheapo brand. About 180, 185 each for the two back tyres. 285, 70, 17. So again, hitting that 33 inch mark. Again, good aggressive tread on them. A little bit of sidewall grip as well. Since I've put them on, my fuel efficiency has gone up a fair bit. I probably shouldn't have put mud tyres on it. Again, looks fantastic. Don't do a lot of Ks, but those Ks I do. It's made the FJ thirsty. So I'm currently looking at a set of, just get a set of all-terrains on another set of rims. I can take these off and save them just for winter, for mud. And hopefully get that fuel economy back down around the 12s or 13 litres to the 100, because at the moment I'm about 17 and it's a bit thirsty to go and do stuff. But again, good looking tyre. Terrainer MTs, Centura. Cheap tyre from Bow Repairs. Also, while I'm down here too, the Cruiser's got a 2-inch lift all around, sitting on EFS suspension, front and rear, shocks and springs in the rear, which gives it a good bit of travel, good bit of flex. So again, good flex in the rear with that rear locker, and the back end pushes the front end wherever you steer it, which is good most of the time. Rightio, let's have a look in the back. Before we get to there, as I said before, I've got the lights up on top here that throw out a good beam around the back. Little pencil beam light there that was there when I got it. It's pretty shitty. I think it was just there to help when you reverse. I'd love to get a spare tyre bag from the push in when I'm camping, but I've got a rear camera in the centre there, so I'll have to try and work something out. Maybe get one of the ones that goes over the sides and leave it free, but yeah, that's a work in progress. I've also got one of the shackle points for the rear too that I normally have in when I'm not towing, but I've been towing recently, so that's why I've got a ball on the back. But we'll have a look in the back, which is a bit dusty. Before we move inside, on the back door, always wanted to get a table put on the back, just to help out when you're getting stuff out of the fridge and that. As you're seeing, the back's all dusty and that, so getting cold drinks or whatever else out of the fridge and putting on that back just doesn't work. So I made this little table up. It's just a bit of MDF wrapped in automotive carpet, a couple of hinges, chain there to hold it. I wouldn't put a lot of weight on it. Coke bottles, 2 litre Coke bottle, I'd say it's probably about the max up here near the chain, but that's there. Fridge comes out, stops there, plenty of space. I can grab a bottle of water, whatever, out of the fridge, on the table. Enough room now, I could probably cook on it with my little cooker, but if you're going to do that, just be careful. Plastic, it would melt. Put that back in there so I can roll around and make noise. And also I got the little back window on the door opens here as well, so a bit of airflow. I was going to get and put some sort of bench, just pull out the back, sit a bench on there so you can have a bit of a breakfast bar. So if you've got a couple of yous, someone can stand on the other side and eat while I'm dishing up, serving and all that stuff. But that's the table. I'll show you where all the good stuff is. Rightio, in the back I've got everything I need for off-road venturing, kitchen, that sort of stuff, eating. First up, as I said earlier, the back of the Cruiser hasn't got a lot of space. It's only about 70 centimetres deep, so I end up making my own set of drawers or storage system out of some MDF wrapped in marine carpet like before. I was going to go a drawer. I've only done the little shelf in here, 70 centimetres. I can reach up, I can grab whatever's in there. I don't need less space by having drawers and all the rails and that sort of stuff on the back. Starting here, 55 litre Bushman fridge, just your knockoff Waco. I've made a fridge cage here up out of old security door, which I'll show you some better photos in a minute. Something quick and easy like that. I should be able to fit a 60 in here. It's just, again, the length, because you only got 70 centimetres. This one here I had to take the handles off just to make it fit without hitting the seat. So the front of the slide is open, so if you've got something a bit longer, as long as the outside dimensions, width and depth don't change, you might even get a 60, 65 in here as well. But At the moment, got the 55 in here. My big 60 litre Ingle doesn't fit, and I've got a little 35 litre Dometic that if I'm going away for overnight or something, I might put that in instead of having the big 55, just so you're not digging down deep and getting to all the stuff down the bottom. It's on a Black Widow fridge slide. Unfortunately, it must be one of the poverty pack or one of the early ones, because it comes out, doesn't stay out, so if you're not on level ground, it'll take off into the back of the car really quick. Just got some little stuff here, your oils, never go anywhere without some barbecue sauce, detergent, hand wash, and some mouthwash as well, just making use of the little storage space here on the front. I'm going to do some more spotlight videos on storage, but basically here we've got just some of the cheap, half these come from the reject shop, the other half come from Bunnings. Little drawers that I haven't got worked out properly. Velcro is just a temporary thing, so when I'm off-road it doesn't rattle open and have stuff everywhere, but all my cutlery, cooking stuff's in them ones there. Over in this one here, head torches, butane torches, just for helping out on the road, starting a fire, night time, that sort of stuff. The little flame jet cooker that you've seen or will see in some cooking segments. And it's still a bit of a work in progress. I've got these little trays that I'm going to zip tie to the top of the fridge slide, just so if I'm charging something on the road, it can sit in there, a phone or whatever, and it's not going to slip off and go everywhere, fall down, get squashed, all that. Again, work in progress. Next time you see these, hopefully I'll have it done. Put a sort of enclose these, put a shelf across and down with a lip on it, and wrap it in carpet again, so that way if I'm charging stuff or even just camera stuff up there, bread, fruit, bananas, that sort of stuff that you don't want squash, you can sit up on top. It's not going to move on the carpet, and yeah, hopefully it'll all stay in one place. Over on the side here again, I'll show you more of this stuff in separate spotlights, but my bag, plates, frying pans, chopping board, cups, all that sort of stuff fits in a bag like this, where it's good to have storage shelves, boxes, tubs. You can stack so much of it. After that, you pull in tubs out to get the other tubs and so forth. $10 backpack from Kmart, it just fits in the side there, fit on the front here, fit up there, fit behind a seat. There's just plenty of storage options out there for what your for your adventures and that. So have a look around, shop around, see what other people have done, and just start putting some stuff together yourself. You'll be surprised how well you can get stuff to pack into small spaces and not spending a lot of money on storage systems. And lastly, before we move away from the back, up here on the cargo rack, a 1000-watt inverter runs a toaster, and again charges stuff that I need charging. Over in the side here, in a bit of wasted space beside the fridge box, I've got a 165 amp giant battery, AGM battery, which is a bit heavy, a bit big. It takes up all the space in that corner there, so it's in there. I've got it getting charged from the car with a projected DC-DC charger, and also got Anderson plug from there to the fridge, so there's only about 2 foot of cable for the fridge, so again you're not going to get much power drop, getting all the power you need to that fridge. USBs, I've got a heap of USB points and all that put in here. Again, charging stuff, running cigarette lighter, whether it's a shower or stuff like that. Down below I've got a 30-metre extension lead here with the cigarette lighter, so if I'm camped over there or away from the car and I want to run, I've got a 12-inch fan that I've put in my swag or in the tent just to get a bit of airflow on those warmer nights. I could run it over there, plug it in, and it's only a 5-watt fan, I think, so it'll run all night without touching the battery power or battery storage a lot. So down here, we'll take a look a bit lower down. Bit of a shelf there, again a little bit more of a table space there. I was going to put a bit of checker plate on there or something, so you can put hot food on, or a hot saucepan once you boiled some water, but we'll see what happens there. Some pots and pans, butane cans, that sort of stuff lives in there. My thunder box and my fan. Down below, just got a bit of rope, just I think it's about 5 metres of just some rope I can string up for clothesline, drying towels, that sort of stuff, so you're not hanging towels on the dusty vehicle. All my snatch recovery gear, snatch straps and all that down there. Couple of A couple of snatch blocks as well. All that sort of stuff sits under there for when I'm travelling. When I'm on a track or doing something, then yeah, most of it goes on the front, on the floor on the front, especially if it gets dirty in that. But when it's not being used, when I'm travelling and that sort of stuff, it all stores under there. Also got a nice little collapsible table, table frame. The top comes out, it's all folded up in there as well. Just a good little space feature. If I was building it again, I'd probably have something here that slid out, just that could slide out, sit down there. Although you're working down for a table when you're cooking and that, just to have a little bit more table space, because as you can see, there's not a lot of space here. That's covered in dust, and you don't want that in your food or getting dragged back in the vehicle by putting stuff on there. Rightio, up on the top, I don't like having a lot of stuff on the roof rack just because of the cruiser already being a brick. You're going to have more of a wind break and that on top. But what I've got up here at the moment, homemade PVC pipe, 90mm. It's about, what's that, 2 metres, probably about 2.4 long. Holds about 21 litres of water, which gets me a couple of nights showering or even just washing my hands while I'm out four-wheel driving. Got a hose at the back with a little tap on it, 1/2 inch hose connector on the end, so I can just plug the garden hose into it to fill it, breather up the front. It's just handy for when I'm by myself out washing your hands when you're cooking, that sort of thing. Just carrying that water around with me. When I do longer trips, a couple of nights to a week, I've got this 50-litre old caravan tank here, nice and slimline, low profile, so it's not, again, grabbing a lot of air when you're driving. All plumbed at the back, got a electric pump on the back as well. There's a bit of cable goes down, plugs in the Anderson plug on the back. I don't know if I'll hardwire that or not with a switch, because I don't want this on there all the time. It's only really if I'm going away for more than a couple of nights. But 50 litres, electric pump there, hose, have the shower, got an instant hot water system, hangs on the side here, shower tent. Within 5 minutes you're showering, and you've got lovely hot water during the cooler months. During summer, the black tank up on top, you probably don't even need the instant hot water to heat the water. The sun does a good job at heating it up nicely, so just again electric pump out to the hand piece and off you go. It has just got the standard Toyota FJ roof rack on it, which is only light steel. It doesn't take bangs and crashes and all sorts of things real well, so having all this stuff bolted to the top or anchored to the top was probably pushing a little bit. But if I do, or when I do get some money and plan some upgrades in the future, this is going off, and get a nice full length flat with the side roof rack on it from ARB or something, and get everything mounted on it properly. Get a solar panel on the front, probably a 160 or even a 120 seems to keep the battery topped up at the back during the day. So get a panel mount on the front, kick the back up a little bit so it's a little bit of a wind deflector on the front. Either that, or I've seen some people put them under the roof rack on a set of slides, so when you pull up you can have all the stuff on your roof rack you need, swags, whatever else, pull up to camp or even stop on the side of the road and want to keep some charge going into your battery. It just got the fridge slides under the roof rack, hit the button, pull the panel out over your windscreen and lock it out, and that the way it can be out there getting used to power or put power into your battery. When you want to travel again, slide it back under, off you go. You can put stuff on your roof rack, you don't have to worry about blocking the panel or putting weight on your panel, which I think is a real good idea, so I'm going to look into doing that into the future and see how we go there. eBay special treads, I think they're about 140 bucks to get them. They've been on here for over a year and a half. When I done my Broken Hill trip, I didn't have a winch, so I just wanted something as a backup in case I got stuck in the sand and that out there. Never ended up using them, so now they're pretty much just a fashion piece for the cruiser. As you can see, they've faded a bit, so we'll see what happens there, whether or not they still hold up strength-wise when I do eventually need them, which will happen one day, I'm sure, and I'll probably bend in half, but hey, they're there just in case I need them, and I didn't. So shovel sits in the side here, got a Nike strap holding that on, goes under the straps that holds that on. It is fairly quick and easy to get it off. And then over on the side here, got a King's 2 metre by 3 metre awning. Good size, goes out, covers your swag if you're camping under it or sitting under it. not like the smaller 2.5 by 2.5 ones. That way, if it does rain or if you get a heavy dew over winter, comes down, this gets wet, not your swag, not your canvas, so everything stays dry, and then when you get home you can just unroll it out under the carport or whatever else and let it dry out. I've seen these things soaking wet, get rolled up, and even after a fortnight they might start getting a bit of mould on them, but within a couple of weeks, treat them, get them drying out, and they seem to be fine. So it's one of the better products from King's. Rightio, so that's been the spotlight on the FJ Cruiser. You're going to see a lot more of it in season 1, and you probably see a little bit more of Roxy here as well. What do you reckon, Rox? We're going to find some adventure? No. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff on the YouTube channel. Got any questions, let me know. I'll do my best to answer them. And yeah, hopefully just coming up, filming at Series 1 at the moment, and going to get out and see some of this beautiful country. So for the Budget Adventure Show, I've been Brad, and we'll see you out on the tracks.